If you're looking for horror games that truly scare you, this list is for you. These are the games that get under your skin and stick with you long after you stop playing. Here are the 20 scariest horror games you must play once in your life. Fatal Frame: Maiden of Blackwater is a horror game inspired by Japanese supernatural folklore. The game takes place around Mount Hikami, a place known for mysterious deaths and strange spiritual events. It follows 3 characters, who each travel to the mountain while searching for missing people, only to discover the area is filled with restless spirits and dark rituals from the past. Instead of using normal weapons, the only way to defend yourself is with the camera obscura, a mysterious camera that can capture and damage ghosts. The closer the ghost is when you take the photo, the stronger the attack becomes, which creates very tense moments during encounters. What makes the game disturbing is the history behind the mountain. Many people came there to die, and the area is believed to be connected to the world of the dead.
人には見えないものが見える小塚有利は神隠しにあった人たちの影を追ってかつて霊場として崇められた氷上山へ足を踏み入れる。次々に襲い来る霊に対抗できる唯一の手段はありえないものを映すカメラ遮影機。死の山、幽魂、神隠し。3人の主人公はそれぞれの思いを胸に氷上山に秘められた儀式の謎に迫っていく。美しき恐怖再び。
Hellseed is a psychological horror game where you play as a detective investigating the mysterious disappearance of a doctor in a small town in Italy during the 1980s. The case eventually leads you to the doctor's house, but once you step inside, strange and disturbing things start happening. Gameplay focuses on exploring the house and solving puzzles while collecting clues about what happened to the missing doctor. As you dig deeper into the mystery, supernatural forces begin interfering with your investigation, forcing you to stay alert the entire time. The tension in this game builds slowly. The environment feels unsettling, with small things happening that make the place feel wrong. You might hear footsteps in empty hallways or sudden noises coming from rooms that should be silent. As time goes on, it starts to feel like something in the house is watching your every move.
Glass everywhere. There's a lot of blood. She's not breathing.
A serial killer is terrorizing the normally sleepy streets of Salem.
This crude drawing of a bell has been left at the scene of several murders,
Leading police to refer to the murderer as the Bell Killer.
Murdered Soul Suspect is very unique because it lets you solve a murder from the perspective of the victim. You play as Ronan O'Connor, a detective who is killed by a serial killer known as the Bell Killer. Instead of the story ending there, Ronan returns as a ghost and decides to solve the toughest case of his career, his own murder. Gameplay feels very different from most detective games. You can walk through walls, possess people to read their thoughts, and search crime scenes for clues that reveal what really happened. During investigations, you collect evidence and connect the pieces together to uncover the truth. The game takes place in the city of Salem, where you explore locations like churches, apartments, graveyards, and dark streets while tracking the Bell Killer. Along the way, you also meet lost spirits who are still trapped between the world of the living and the dead. Until Dawn feels like playing inside a horror movie where every decision can decide who lives and who dies. The game follows a group of friends who return to a snowy mountain lodge 1 year after a tragic accident. What begins as a simple reunion slowly turns into a terrifying night when something starts stalking them through the mountains. One of the most interesting parts of the game is the butterfly effect system. Almost every choice you make changes what happens later. Even small decisions like choosing which character to follow or how to respond during a conversation can lead to very different events hours later. Because of this, every playthrough can feel completely different. The game also introduces several tense gameplay mechanics that make certain moments very stressful. During some scenes, you need to make quick choices in a few seconds, deciding whether to run, hide, or take a risk.
I was down there.
You were?
It was horrible.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone killed.
No!
We should stay put right here until dawn.
Jessica!
You can't let me die!
Stalker 2 takes place in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a dangerous area filled with radiation, strange anomalies, and mutated creatures. You play as a stalker named Skiff, exploring the zone while searching for artifacts and trying to understand the mysteries hidden inside this forbidden place. Gameplay combines first-person shooting with survival mechanics. You have to manage ammo, repair weapons, watch your radiation level, and carry limited supplies while moving through the environment. One interesting mechanic involves using bolts to detect invisible anomalies before walking through an area, because stepping into one by accident can kill you instantly. The zone itself is unpredictable. Mutant creatures roam the area, different factions fight for control of valuable territory, and many abandoned locations hide useful equipment or dangerous threats.
Fortune hunters, loners whose path always leads deeper into the zone, which is unlike anything you've ever known. Never thought I'd become one of them. Medkits, bandages, pills, they don't stop the pain. They only buy you time. And in the zone, time is the most precious thing. The detector. Which one do I take this time? Each of them have saved my life.
Silent Hill F takes the series in a very different direction by moving the setting to 1960s rural Japan instead of the usual American town. The game follows a high school student named Hinako Shimizu, whose quiet hometown suddenly becomes covered in a strange fog while terrifying creatures begin appearing everywhere. Gameplay focuses on survival and close-range combat. Unlike some horror games where you rely on guns, here you mostly fight using melee weapons like pipes or other tools while managing limited resources. You also spend a lot of time exploring the town, solving puzzles, and uncovering clues about what happened to the people who lived there. The atmosphere mixes beauty and horror at the same time. The town is filled with red spider lilies and disturbing creature designs inspired by Japanese folklore, which creates a strange contrast between something beautiful and something deeply unsettling. Sleep Awake presents a disturbing idea. In this world, falling asleep can make people disappear forever. The game takes place in the last surviving city on Earth, where everyone is terrified of something called the Hush, a mysterious phenomenon that causes people to vanish the moment they fall asleep. You play as Katya, a survivor trying to stay awake while moving through a city filled with cult groups, strange experiments, and people slowly losing their minds from exhaustion. The longer people stay awake, the more reality begins to feel unstable and dreamlike. Gameplay focuses on exploration, puzzles, and stealth. Instead of fighting enemies directly, you often need to sneak past cult members and other threats while searching for clues and items that help you survive.
You're not ignoring me now, dear, are you? This is all perfectly natural.
I am awake!
Resisting the inevitable comes at a cost.
Remothered Tormented Fathers feels like a classic cat-and-mouse horror game where you're constantly being hunted inside a creepy mansion. You play as Rosemary Reed, a woman investigating the disappearance of a young girl. Her search leads her to the house of an old doctor, but once she starts asking questions, it becomes clear the people inside the mansion are hiding something very dark. The gameplay focuses heavily on stealth and survival. You can't simply fight the enemies chasing you. Instead, you need to hide under beds, sneak through hallways, and quietly move between rooms while solving puzzles that reveal more about the mystery. Enemies actively search the house and react to sounds you make. If you run or knock something over, they will come looking for you, which creates a lot of tension while exploring the mansion.
Stop shouting. You'll draw the monsters.
Tell me, what is going on around here?
It doesn't make any sense. Mother Miranda has always protected us.
You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Is this all that's left from your entire...
Resident Evil Village continues the story of Ethan Winters, who is searching for his kidnapped daughter after a mysterious attack destroys his quiet life. His search leads him to a strange European village filled with mutated creatures and ruled by powerful figures connected to a dark cult. Gameplay is played from a first-person perspective, combining survival horror with more action than the previous game. You explore the village and several large locations like Castle, while collecting items, solving puzzles, and managing limited ammo and resources. Another interesting part of the game is how the world is structured. The central village works like a hub that connects different areas controlled by powerful lords, each with their own environment and style of horror. One area might focus on survival and combat, while another can feel more psychological and disturbing. The Quarry plays out like a classic teen slasher movie, where a group of camp counselors decide to spend one last night together after the summer camp closes. What should have been a fun night quickly turns into a nightmare when something dangerous begins stalking the woods around Hackett's Quarry. One of the most interesting things about the game is how many possible outcomes it has. The developers revealed that the game can lead to around 186 different endings, depending on the decisions you make and which characters survive the night. Instead of focusing on shooting or fighting, the gameplay revolves around decisions, exploration, and quick reactions during tense moments. Sometimes you need to decide whether to run or hide, trust someone or doubt them, or investigate a strange noise. These choices slowly shape how the night unfolds.
Should we look?
Maybe it was the bears.
And why does everyone blame everything on bears? Okay.
You got anything better? I mean, like zombies, aliens, time-hopping Draculas?
Ryan?
Hey! Run! Anything needs to happen, please!
We ain't playing games no more, little girl.
There's something coming!
2 lost, Max. We're lost. 3!
Terrified kids are bad for business.
You have to cut it off! Cut it off!
Days Gone takes place in a world that has been destroyed by a deadly outbreak. You play as Deacon St. John, a former biker trying to survive while traveling through forests, small towns, and broken highways filled with infected creatures known as freakers. What makes the game especially intense is the freaker hordes. Instead of fighting a few enemies at a time, you sometimes face hundreds of them rushing toward you all at once. When that happens, you have to run, plan your escape, and use traps or the environment if you want to survive. Gameplay also focuses a lot on survival. Your motorcycle is extremely important because it helps you travel long distances, escape danger, and carry supplies. You constantly need to find fuel, craft items, and prepare before taking on dangerous situations.
What happened to me?
Karma, The Dark World, is a psychological horror game set in a dark alternate version of East Germany during the 1980s. In this world, a powerful corporation controls society using surveillance and advanced technology that can even access people's memories. You play as Daniel McGovern, an investigator whose job is to dive into the minds of suspects to uncover the truth behind different crimes. At first, it seems like a normal investigation, but the deeper you go into people's memories, the more disturbing things start to appear. Instead of focusing on combat, the gameplay is built around exploring environments, solving puzzles, and uncovering clues hidden inside these twisted memories. Many moments feel surreal, where reality and imagination start blending together.
Hey! Hey, can you talk?
Demonologist is a paranormal horror game where you investigate haunted places and try to figure out what kind of spirit is living there. You enter locations like abandoned houses, hospitals, and old schools while searching for clues about the entity haunting the building. What makes this game really scary is how real and unpredictable the paranormal events feel. Lights suddenly turn off, objects move by themselves, and you can sometimes hear whispers or footsteps when no one is around. The sound design and dark environments make every room feel tense because you never know when something will happen. The game also has moments where the ghost becomes aggressive and starts hunting you. When that happens, you have to quickly hide or run before the spirit finds you. Those sudden situations create a lot of panic, especially when you're trapped inside a dark building. Routine is a sci-fi horror game that feels extremely unsettling from the moment you start playing. The game takes place on an abandoned lunar base where the entire crew has mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind dark corridors, broken machines, and a heavy feeling that something is terribly wrong. What makes the game truly scary is the strong sense of isolation. You're completely alone on the moon, walking through quiet hallways where every sound, a distant metal noise, a flickering light, or a door slowly opening, can make your heart jump. Gameplay focuses on survival rather than action. Instead of fighting everything you see, you often need to hide, move carefully, and avoid the hostile machines that patrol the station. With its eerie atmosphere, quiet tension, and the constant fear of being trapped in a dead space station, Routine creates a very disturbing horror experience that keeps players nervous the entire time.
One final step.
No, it's nothing.
Bullet, seek.
Just
Talk to me. Please.
You heard the legend, right? About the witch?
Alice, you sure you're doing fine?
Jess, I swear, there's something really messed up going on in these woods.
Calm down. What did you see?
It's hard to explain. Memories? Bad memories.
Blair Witch is a psychological horror game set deep in the Black Hills Forest, a place known for strange disappearances. You play as Ellis, a former police officer who joins a search team looking for a missing boy. At first it feels like a normal rescue mission, but the deeper you go into the forest, the stranger things start to become. As you move through the woods, the environment begins to mess with you. Trails don't seem to lead where they should, familiar places suddenly look different, and it's easy to feel lost even when you think you're going the right way. You're not completely alone though. Your dog Bullet travels with you, helping track clues and warning you when something nearby feels wrong. His reactions often give you the first sign that something dangerous might be close. The game focuses more on tension and atmosphere than action, slowly building a feeling that the forest itself is watching you and pulling you deeper into its mystery. Soma is a sci-fi horror game that takes place deep under the ocean inside a research facility called Pathos 2. You play as Simon Jarrett, a normal guy who suddenly wakes up there with no idea how he arrived. The station is almost empty, the systems are breaking down, and strange machines and creatures are moving through the halls. The fear in this game comes from the situation you're trapped in. You're stuck at the bottom of the ocean in a damaged facility where the outside world is already gone after a global disaster. Gameplay focuses on exploration, puzzles, and avoiding enemies. You can't really fight back, so when something dangerous appears, the best option is to hide, sneak past it, or find another path. What really makes Soma special is its story. As you keep playing, the game starts asking deep questions about identity, consciousness, and what it actually means to be human. And those ideas stay in your mind long after the game ends.
It's hurt. It's just a scan. It'll hurt about as much as getting your picture taken.
Hello? Did something go wrong?
This is where it all went wrong, Simon. This is where we planted the seed, the cancer that's eating Pathos 2. It wasn't meant to be like this. No one told us this could happen.
The Mortuary Assistant puts you in a situation that already feels uncomfortable from the start, working alone in a mortuary during the night shift. You step into the role of Rebecca Owens, a new assistant learning how to embalm bodies, while strange things begin happening inside the building. Most of the gameplay revolves around the actual embalming process. You examine bodies, prepare chemicals, and follow the steps needed to finish the job. At first, everything feels normal, but the longer the shift goes on, the more disturbing the environment becomes. You might hear footsteps in empty hallways, lights suddenly turning off, or notice the body on the table looking slightly different than before. These small moments slowly build tension while you continue doing your work. On top of that, you also need to figure out which body is possessed by a demon before the night ends. Tormented Souls 2 continues the story of Caroline Walker, who is trying to save her sister Anna after she starts having strange visions and a mysterious illness. Looking for answers, Caroline travels to a remote town and a creepy clinic, where things quickly start to feel very wrong. The game keeps the classic survival horror style. The areas are dark and uncomfortable, and you never really know what might be waiting around the next corner. Strange creatures roam the halls, and every step deeper into the building makes the situation feel more disturbing. Gameplay focuses on exploring the environment, solving puzzles, and managing your limited resources. Ammo and healing items are not easy to find, so every fight forces you to think carefully before wasting anything. With its creepy atmosphere, challenging puzzles, and classic survival horror design, Tormented Souls 2 feels like a modern game that still captures the spirit of old-school horror.
It's all about you, especially you, little one.
Anna's been through a lot.
We can help her with that. Soon, she will fear nothing.
What did they do to me?
Anna? Anna!
God, she's dead.
This damn place can bring out the darkness in our heart.
Did you do this?
Outlast 2 throws you into one of the most disturbing horror situations you can imagine. You play as Blake Langerman, a cameraman searching for his missing wife after a helicopter crash in the Arizona desert. The search leads you to a remote village where a violent cult believes the end of the world is coming. The nightmare really begins once the villagers notice you. They hunt you through dark fields, barns, and forests, and the worst part is that you can't fight back at all. The only thing you can do is run, hide, and pray they don't find where you're hiding. Your camcorder becomes your only way to see in the dark using night vision. But the batteries run out fast, which means sometimes you're forced to move through complete darkness while hearing enemies searching nearby. Between the disturbing cult, the constant feeling of being hunted, and the helplessness of having no weapons, Outlast 2 creates moments that can genuinely make players panic.
Full little hands, what you do. There's a father up above, and he's looking down in love, so be careful. Little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say. There's a father up above, and he's looking down in love. So be careful, little mouth, what you say.
Hey, the outsider!
The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most intense survival horror experiences you can play. The story follows Ellie, who sets out on a dangerous journey after a tragic event turns her life upside down. What begins as a personal mission slowly becomes a brutal fight for survival in a world already destroyed by infection. The game creates tension in a very realistic way. Enemies communicate with each other, infected can suddenly appear in tight spaces, and many encounters force you to move slowly while listening for footsteps nearby. Combat is all about survival. Ammo is limited, crafting materials are hard to find, and rushing into a fight usually ends badly. Most of the time you'll need to sneak, set traps, or carefully plan how to deal with enemies. Between the emotional story, the dangerous encounters, and the constant pressure to survive, The Last of Us Part 2 delivers a heavy and unforgettable horror experience.
I really hope you make it.
I have to finish it.